It's week 12 of Reseller Boot Camp, and I'm pushing past my 5 listings a day. I'm Vicki, and my husband Mark and I resell on eBay and Poshmark. And if you're new to my boot camp series that I've been doing all summer long, these videos have been chock full of all kinds of reseller tips. It's far beyond just showing you what I listed per day. So those of you who have been following boot camp all summer long, please leave a comment and let everyone else know some of the things that you learned from boot camp this summer. It has been quite a journey. My original goal was to list 5 listings a day, but in week number 12, I have been pushing past my 5 listings a day. Not necessarily every day, but I definitely listed more than 25 listings this week, because the 5 days was 5 listings a day, Monday through Friday, but I have pushed past 25 listings this week. How is it going for you? What have you achieved this week? What have you found to resell this week? What have you sold this week? As you know, all along, boot camp has been whatever you want it to be. And all I've asked is to leave a comment and let everyone know how you're doing. That is a way for me to know that you've enjoyed the boot camp videos, that perhaps they've inspired you a little bit. Yeah, that's all I've asked for. Leave a comment. Oh, and a thumbs up doesn't hurt either. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. I have to say that early in the video because sometimes some people don't make it to the end of my videos. It happens. YouTube tells me it happens. But YouTube also tells me that comments and thumbs up, all that good stuff really helps my videos in the search engine. I am going into 5 years, and I still need all the help I can get. So thank you. I'm venturing into a new category. How many of you remember this tote? I've got a variety of things to share with you in this video, including a new category that I'm venturing into. I'm venturing into a new category, something that I don't know anything about. Kind of like when I first started selling glassware years ago. I took it on because it was the one thing that many resellers left behind. And I took on the packing because that was the most challenging part. You can find glassware. Packing it's another story. So that's why I've shared with you hundreds of videos on how to pack and ship fragile items. Speaking of that, well, no, I'll circle back to that later in the video. Let's go back to Monday. One thing that Mark has been doing is he's been trying to stay ahead of me. He's tried to have at least 5 listings photographed and waiting for me to list. Well, on Monday, I had 3 to start out with, and that was okay because almost every other day, he has 5 or more ready for me. So Monday morning, I listed those 3 items, and it's some odds and ends. Other than, remember the chicken patterns, the chicken quilt of the month club patterns that I showed you last week, where I had listed all 8 of the patterns individually? Well, when the sale ended Sunday evening, on Monday, I took all the listings down. Yep, I did. And I created one listing for the whole entire kit. I'm going to show you that too and the price I put on it. Because, the original company that's putting these kits together is still charging $50 or more per kit. So, yeah, I marked it up a little bit. How many of you remember this tote? It's from a church rummage sale a few months ago, and it's completely full of embroidery floss, DMC embroidery floss. I still have the price tag on it. I paid $5 for it, and there's even more than what you see here, lots more. So let's take a look at what's in that tote. What do I have in here? Some bags. Bag of embroidery floss, some gold and silver metallic thread, glass seed beads in assorted colors, partially used, some full, some partial, and a whole bunch of embroidery floss in bags. I have a feeling whoever had this kit was a teacher because they organized these and numbered them, and my decision is how am I going to list them, as one big lot or by color. I'm not sure. To tell you the truth, it's a little bit overwhelming. There's so many different colors. I assume that a teacher of needlework and cross stitch is the one that donated that kit to the church rummage sale. I wasn't sure. I truly wasn't sure how I was going to list everything, but I started looking through it and sorting it out by color. Although I found one bag that was a little bit special. And this is the color selection from that one bag that I found in the kit. It's not going for as much as I'd hoped, and I am short 2 of the colors. Yeah, bummer, huh? It's a DMC brand limited edition of colors from 2002. I'm going to show you here what I listed it for, even though I am too short. Remember, I only paid $5 for the whole entire tote full of embroidery floss. As I said, I sorted them out by color. One of the colors is blue, shades of gray, shades of coral. So I thought the easiest thing to do would be to start with one color, such as blue. And here's the listing for the blue lot. And then I tackled the gray. Create a draft, then go back and create copies. So that's what I'm going to show you next, how I set that up, just in case you've never done that. Now that I have one set up for the shades of blue, I'm going to go ahead and check that box and sell similar. And I'm going to remove the photos, remove all. And yes, I have to tweak the title for each color lot, but I'm going to save for later and then go back into drafts. I think I was already in there actually. And I'm going to go ahead and create a few more of these. I probably have 10 different colors, but I'm just going to create 5 for now. I'm not copying the photos. I'll copy the catalog product information, whatever might be there. And then I'll tweak each listing for the color. So like I'll resume draft here and I'll change everything to shades of gray. And then I'll list some of the keywords that I find from the different colors and I'll change the quantity, etc. So that's what I'll do until I get all of the lots, the color lots done. Now I'm working on shades of gray, and again I'm taking them out of the original packets and putting them in a fresh bag because these all look so old and they don't photograph very well. So onto the gray. So this is what it looks like as I lay them out. You can see they're in alphabetical order. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. This one's quite well used here. But yeah, next I'll take the photograph. Next, I'll show you what I listed these for, the gray and the coral. Did I get all of my color lots done this week? No. No, I still have yellow, I have red, I have tons of green. I've never seen so many shades of green before. But that's what I'll be working on here and there. You know, I might try to fit in 5 a week. I can get bored if I do a little too much of the same thing. So I was happy just to get started on it, especially since it's been sitting here for a couple of months. Yes, I'm confessing. You wouldn't have anything sitting around, would you? That's been sitting there for a couple of months that you haven't listed? No, not you. So I got 6 listings done on Monday. I went ahead and combined the orders anyway. Let's talk a little bit about when I refund a buyer for combined shipping. Tuesday, what I do on Tuesday. Tuesday morning I packed what had sold over the weekend and on Monday. And one buyer bought 2 lots of earrings, vintage earrings. One lot was button earrings, clip earrings, and one lot was an assortment of clip earrings. And even though she bought 2 lots and she didn't ask for a discount for combined shipping, I went ahead and combined the orders anyway. And then I refunded some of her shipping. So I'm going to show you here how I combine the orders because it's not something I do every day. Actually, very rarely do I have a buyer buy more than one item. Okay, we're on eBay. I'm in orders awaiting shipment. These are the 2 orders that I want to combine. I click both of these, check both boxes, and then I go to shipping to get shipping label. And because I only have 2 in here, I can just select all and it checks both boxes. And I'm going to choose the word combine right here, combine. And now I enter the weight of the box, which happens to be 2 pounds rounded up. and my box size is 6 by 5 by 5. Okay, 6 by 5 by 5. I'm double checking on my paperwork. It's going Ground Advantage. The cost is $6.62. I always write that down. The cost is $6.62, and then I just review the purchase. Make sure you have everything correct. Your shipping service, your weight, your box dimensions, and then go up and review purchase. And because I'm running this on eBay to combine, I have to take my funds. I have to take the shipping out of my funds. $6.62, confirm and pay. Otherwise, we would be using Pirate Ship, but I can't combine on Pirate Ship. At least I haven't figured out a way to do that. So this is new labels, drop off. I had to go back up. That's crazy that I had to scroll back up for that. Print labels. I only want to print one. Make sure you have the correct printer chosen. I'm downstairs and I'm printing it upstairs. That's all there is to it. You notice that I printed the shipping label, the combined shipping label through eBay. It's because I can't do that on Pirate Ship. They just don't have that type of feature. If they do, I don't know where it is. So I do have to print my labels through eBay when I'm combining, and that's okay. That works out okay. They just take the cost of the shipping label out of our proceeds before they pay out. And I know somebody's going to ask me here, why do you use Pirate Ship? A whole host of reasons, okay? I'm not going to get into that today because I've talked about it in many videos, and I wish I could remember which video it was, but it's in one of these boot camp videos, so maybe you'll just have to watch all of them to find it. Anyway, I printed the shipping label, but I had trouble that day. We were using a different printer upstairs, and it didn't print right, so I had to do a reprint. And I thought, well, I'll show you where you find the option to reprint a label. If you ever find that you need to reprint a label for any reason, just go into your Seller Hub, and on the left-hand side, go to Shipping Labels and find the label that you want to reprint. You know, we combine two orders here, open up Actions and Reprint Label. So there you go. For the refund reason, I chose shipping discount. And then I just typed a little note. Let's talk a little bit about when I refund a buyer for combined shipping. I take into consideration the fees that we have to pay for that sale, because we try to pick up those fees in the sale itself from the buyer, included in shipping, included in the price, somehow incorporate some of those fees that we pay on eBay, the selling fees that we pay on the item, the shipping, the sales tax, etc. There are a lot of fees that we pay. So what I do is I basically write down how much shipping we collected on that sale and how much shipping we collected on the other item, combine that, total it, and then I also take a look at the fees on that item and the fees on that item, total it, and then I take the shipping minus the fees minus the actual cost of the label, and then I make a decision how much I'm going to refund. So it's not always a lot, but it was something, and it's a refund that she wasn't expecting. You might do things differently, and that's fine. All I ever do on this channel is share how I do it, and you do you. You do what works best for you, but that's what I do when I'm combining items and refunding. So in this case, I refunded $4. On Tuesday, Mark had lined up for me some crystals that he had photographed. Remember the crystals? I know. Oops. That's okay. These were the rejects anyway. We just recently bought a lot of crystals, replacement crystals for lamps and chandeliers. And I bet this thing weighs about 12 pounds. Well, I've brought it home and sorted everything and put like things together. But we have lots of bags of crystals. So we put all the like kind together, and Mark has them all photographed, but I didn't get them all listed. Do you remember what I paid for all of these? I paid, after wheeling and dealing and negotiating prices on some other things, She gave us the whole entire tote of crystals for only $5. Woohoo, right? And I only have a few listed. And the first ones that I listed are kind of the odds and ends that were in here. They're not really that impressive, but I'm going to show you here the first 5 listings from this tote. And I'll keep working on it every week until I'm done. I don't think you came here to see a boot camp video with all of the same thing listed every day. So I'll work on it here and there. Genuine crystals. So I got 5 listings done on Tuesday, and then 1 listing that is completely out of my normal things to buy. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I'm exploring a new category, and this is a listing from that new category. So that's 6 listings for Tuesday. And I might show you a few more odd items later in the video. I've got a little buyer story to share with you today. That was really rude. I'm going to report you to eBay. Most of Wednesday was spent working on that video that you've already seen, at least most of you have already seen, called Shop Restore to Resell. You know, I love going to our restore, at least the one in Johnson City. Kingsport, it's okay. But sometimes it does take multiple trips to find things. So that's where I spent most of my time on Wednesday. But I did get my 5 listings done, and here they are. I've got a little buyer story to share with you today. I received a message. Can you tell me why it costs so much to ship? This is on a photo frame with glass. It's pewter and glass. And I thought, well, why can't she see that on the listing? You know, you have your zip code and it's on calculated shipping, so I didn't understand the question. But actually, I misread the question. It says, can you tell me why it costs so much? And I was thinking she couldn't see the cost. So my first reply didn't really make sense, but I said you will need to go to the listing and enter your zip code to see what the shipping is for your location. Thank you. And then I said you might have to put it in your cart to see the shipping. And then she responds again. This is in the evening, by the way. Why is it always in the evening? And she says it costs $18.60 to ship. That is way too much. There has to be a cheaper way, even through the USPS with a box from them. With a USPS box. Should be cheaper than $18.60. To switch glasses because I had the wrong ones on. I had my computer glasses on. I need my regular glasses for this. So anyway, I responded. The listing allows for 2 options for you. One is Ground Advantage or Priority Mail. You know, I have business policies set up for shipping, and I have one that allows a choice, Priority or Ground Advantage. So I'm telling her here, the shipping is based upon the weight and the box dimension, and your location. And then I went on to say, perhaps you are unaware that USPS has been raising rates twice a year, if not more. In addition to the metal frame, it has glass, which takes extra packaging. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do about the shipping. What do you do, right? It is what it is. I don't even know where she lives at this point. My response was at 5:28 p.m. She wrote back at 7:35 p.m. I told Mark, if she writes back one more time and complains about the shipping, I'm not sure that I want to sell to her. I'm just not sure. Depends on what she says. So I get another message. Wow! Exclamation point. USPS is more expensive. I thought one of those boxes that is one fee at USPS, no matter how much you put in it or how much it weighs, would be cheaper. Not necessarily. It depends on what the item is, right? It depends on the box size and if my item will even fit in that box, right? Gosh, I wrote something and I'm going to want your opinion on how you think she responded, but I didn't want to sell it to her. I really didn't. I just knew that no matter what, she would receive it and leave some kind of neutral or negative about the shipping cost, something that I can't do anything about. So this is what I wrote. Are you prepared for this? Are you sitting down? Oh gosh, what I wrote. It appears that no matter how I reply, you do not believe that I set this listing up for the best shipping options available. USPS does not make a flat rate box that will work for this frame after it's packed. There are flat rate priority mailboxes and regular priority mailboxes. The frame weighs over 2 pounds without packaging. I have set up the listing for 3 pounds. Calculated shipping to the buyer's zip code. I'm in Tennessee. I have 2 options available for this listing. But with all that said, it appears that you will not be satisfied with the shipping. Yep, call it like it is. In this case, perhaps it is better for you to find a similar frame closer to your location. Thank you. All right, I'm going to put 3 choices up on the screen here. Do you think she responded with A, that was really rude, I'm going to report you to eBay? B, I've never had anyone say that to me before. Or understood, thank you so much, I appreciate it. What do you think, A, B, or C? Was she unhappy with me for my suggesting that she just find a similar frame locally? You know, guys, sometimes you just gotta decide, do you want to sell to that person or not? Sometimes you just have to trust your gut on things and sometimes take a chance of losing the sale versus dealing with a customer that right out of the gate appears that they're not going to be satisfied. I mean, she came back at me 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I have no problem with communicating. I have no problem with messages. Take your guess, a few seconds, and then I'll show you what she said. Of course, I'm not going to disclose her name, but her comment. So on Thursday, we stopped in several places, and we made a quick stop in our Kingsport Restore. As I do most weeks, I try to take some time off on Thursday or Friday. So on Thursday, we stopped in several places. One of them was a very quick stop in our Salvation Army. And while they had lots of clothes available, they didn't have much else. It's literally been months since we popped into our Salvation Army, and I'd say the shelves are still really, really bare. If you recall, right after Christmas, they purged all their old inventory, and we had a lot of shutdowns because of snow, and they didn't get things, and they didn't get much inventory in. But it looks to me like they're still not the go-to place to donate. I'll tell you what, one of the main reasons is their prices are too high. They're just hurting themselves. And they write with marker, which means you can't resell it. Not easily. Some of it will come off. Let's see, what do we have here? $4 for a pair candles. $3. And it's damaged. So, boy, I like that. I like that plate. Oh my gosh. $20 mud pie. Very hard to ship. That goose bottle, don't fall off there. $3. See the marker? Nobody wants to buy here and resell. I mean, they don't care about resellers, I get that. But people don't want to donate here anymore. Apparently, I mean, we got a row of stuff here, but we just popped in here because we're going next door to the grocery store and we hadn't been here for a while. Sure, they get furniture and stuff, but I'd say as far as go-to place to buy things to resell, It's pretty much a no, although it looks like Mark is researching something down there. And we stopped in another small thrift store called Hope Thrift, and they had a section for health and beauty, the new category that I'm exploring. And so I thought it would be a good time to do some research. So Mark and I went through some of the product, and believe it or not, we found quite a few things that we could list on eBay. And we made a quick stop in our Kingsport Restore. I didn't find much. A little seahorse and a swan plaque. Look how cute these are. It's plaster. Seahorse. I guess there's only two. $3. And Mark got a cookbook, which I forgot to video. I think that was it. Also on Thursday, we stopped in a little grocery outlet. It's a very unusual store. It looks like a typical grocery store, but it has some different things that we normally don't see. And yeah, it has some different things that we normally don't see. Well, I think it's best if I just show you what we saw right after we walked in the door. It didn't belong in there. It wasn't supposed to be there. It wasn't really bothering anybody, but oh well, let me just show you. Grocery outlet. $10 packs. Now $2.99. That must mean they're expired. There's no Best by use by date. 8/6/24. So that's why they're marked down. They're expired. But I might get some of those. Sounds good. Mark just pointed out something you don't see every day, especially in a grocery store. Do you see them?
They're two damselflies mating.
Oh my gosh, in the grocery store. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? You're gonna break them up.
Are they still together?
Have a nookie in the grocery store. How embarrassing.
And the planter's nuts.
We're not making this up, guys. This is what we saw just as we walked in the grocery store. Other than the damselflies doing it in the grocery store, it's very clean. It's really, really clean. Truly, it's a nice store. The suntan lotion that I listed yesterday, well, I bought it from this same store, and I was anxious to go back and spend more time and see if I could find anything else that we could resell. So I headed for that health and beauty department to see if there was anything that was worth reselling. You know, I search it, you know, I can Google Lens it. I checked eBay, I checked eBay's sold comps. I checked sold for highest sold and lowest sold. I checked active comps for highest and lowest. And I did find some things to resell on eBay. It's challenging, but I can tell you it can be overwhelming when you're a reseller that knows absolutely nothing about these things. I know nothing, but I can learn. CJ Walker Revive and Reset Shampoo, 12 ounce, no sulfates, parabens, silicones, drying alcohol, mineral oil, etc. What I'm trying to find is an expiration date. And so far I can't find one. If I can't find one, I'm going to pick up some of these. I listed 6 items on Thursday, and I found all of them that same day from both the Hope Thrift and the grocery outlet. I came home. It was so easy to set up and photograph these, and I got them listed in the same day. I have to tell you, so much easier than listing some of the hard goods that we sell that take a lot of photos. These took, for the most part, only 2 photos per listing. That was nice. And I took the photos this time. Not Mark, I took the photos. I want to show you my simple setup for this. This is just a trifold piece of cardboard I got from Walmart. I didn't pay much for it. It's a pen and gear trifold project board. And I have it on a table. I did put a placemat here so that I don't get anything on my packing table. I've flanked it with a couple of lights. I don't even have all the lights on. I have 2 on over here and 2 over here. And then I just zoom in and take my photo. So that's my setup. And then I happen to run it through Photo Room to change the background, but you know, this would be perfectly fine as well. I have another scent here to photograph. I photographed these, a lot of 3 and a lot of 2. And then I bought some from a thrift store. I've got several bottles of this cleanser. I have and 1 bottle of Pantene. I paid $3 for that. I got 5 of these for $4. They're all going together as a lot. I have some replacement brushes. I actually paid $2 for those, and I paid $2 for the Colgate replacements. So yeah, that's what I picked up at a thrift store today. So I thought you might like to see the setup that I'm using, and I'll show you some of the photos here because this is what I'm listing today for Thursday. I'm venturing into another category. So what have I learned so far from my research into the new category of health and beauty? Well, one thing for sure is buyers seem to like free shipping. Sellers feel like they have to give free shipping. So that's really new for me. I've never been a big fan of free ship. I just haven't. But that's something I had to keep in the back of my mind when I was checking sold comps. You know, was I going to still make enough money after shipping, after fees, etc.? So that was new. Something new for me. The other thing that I learned is that you have to make sure if you're buying from a thrift store that the product isn't used. I bought 5 of these, and I found out when I got home that one of them was used. Now, all of them look the same when you take off the cap. I couldn't tell any difference. But, and bear with me, this is fluid ounces, and I have a regular ounce scale. So I'm not getting the true fluid ounces, but what I did get by putting this on the scale, each one separately, I bought 5, is that 4 of the bottles were over 9 ounces. There's 8 ounces of liquid in here. So 4 of the bottles were over 9 ounces, and this one was just barely over 8. So I identified that it was used, and therefore I couldn't list it. I got all 5. They were $1 each originally. I bought all 5 for $4. But yeah, this one was a waste. Too bad. Lesson learned. I'm actually thinking about buying a pocket scale that I can have with us, either in my fanny pack or in the car, and just go ahead and weigh this stuff at the store. Who cares, right? I have a right to know if I'm getting what I'm paying for. So that was a takeaway so far. And I'm sure there's lots more to learn. And I'm curious, do you already sell bath and beauty and, health products, home cleaning products? Do you already sell those kind of things? I mean, we've sold some cleaning products, and we made really good money on it. And I tell you, the reason that I'm looking into a new category is that, truth be told, and I think you know this already, it's getting harder and harder to find things to resell. It is. It is. Let's just leave it at that. Church rummage sales are our best place. But I thought, well, why not? Why not learn something new and then share it with you? So I'd love to know in your comment today if you sell these type of products, and or are you interested in learning about these type of products? Because if this works, if it takes off, if I can prove that I've made some money on it and I have enough interest, I could make it a separate series of videos just for product, home, health, beauty, etc. I could make it its own independent video. I've been watching a lot of videos. I've been taking my own crash course in it. This is Saturday as I'm filming this. I already went out this morning. We were out for breakfast anyway. And I stopped in TJ Maxx and Ross. And at TJ Maxx, I came home with some product that I'm going to put together as a gift set, a 3-piece gift set. I only bought 3 lots, 3 sets of 3, but I'm hoping that it will go over really good since Christmas is coming up. It's a discontinued item. And I checked sold comps, of course. All right, I digress, but yep, that's what I did on Thursday. Remember the finials that we just bought. Another thing I did on Friday, I went back to some... On Friday, I finished up the bath and beauty products that I had. At that Hope thrift store, I found something else that we listed. 2 packs, brand new. And these things can be expensive. And then I got into the finials. Remember the finials that we just bought at the church rummage sale? The same sale where we got all of the crystals that I showed you in this video. Yeah, we finally started on the finials, and we decided to start with the ones that were little round orbs. They're all packaged up where I'd show you one, but I will show you the listings that we got done. Glass orbs. They're beautiful. And we got creative with the photography. I've already told you, I've already said, I've already shown you proof that the background doesn't matter, whether it's black or white or print or whatever, it doesn't matter. It will still end up in Google search. It will still end up in eBay search. It's a misnomer that you have to have a solid white background. And I looked at other listings to see what kind of backgrounds they were using on the health and beauty, and some had pattern backgrounds. But with the finials, with the glass orb finials, I have scrapbook paper here, lots of it. And I've used it in my jewelry photography before. So I suggested to Mark that he try it for the photography on the finials. And I think the photos turned out beautiful. Now we did include a photo just on plain white so that they could have that to compare. But when you look at these photos, you'll be able to see which ones you can see through and see the pattern behind it and which ones you cannot see through. So yeah, take a look. Another thing I did on Friday, I went back to some older listings that I had for soap, and I ended the listings, checked sold comps, current sold comps, did a sell similar, put them into the new category because they were just under other, so I moved them into the health and beauty category. So actually on Friday, I got 8 listings done. And the Alba sunscreen that I said earlier this week, I checked sold comps again, and I decided that a listing of 2 wasn't good enough. I decided to change it to a listing of 4. When it comes to health and beauty, sometimes how many you put in that listing can help the sale, help how much you can make from the sale and still give free ship. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to change that listing. I decided to retake the photo of the Alba sunscreen. I had it originally for a listing of 2, and I've decided to make it a listing of 4 instead. Back to the finials. They were a donation from a lady who closed out her lamp store. And I think they had $5 per finial originally on the display. I got the entire display and the round orb display and a tote, a small tote of finials. I forget how many I had in total, but I got all of them for $55. $55. So I'm going to show you here a little peek again of what we're going to be working on over the next few weeks. But you know, there's not many more weeks of boot camp left. We just listed these. Just bought them last Friday. And they sold. Paid $2. $1 each at Restore. I got 32 items listed this week. My goal was only 25, so that is 7 more than my goal. And I have to tell you, I'm pretty happy about that. And I want to hear how your week has gone for you. It's week 12 of Reseller Boot Camp, and I am pushing back 5 listings. And I am pushing past. It's week 12, and I am pushing past my 5. And I am pushing back. Well, I want to tell you that there is far more than I want to tell you. These videos have been chock. So those of you who have been following boot camp all summer long, as you know, boot camp has been. But I'm going to show you. You notice. I hope you had a great week. I hope you have another great week next week. Be sure to leave a comment, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue, and Mark and I will see you soon.